Hey guys, it's Kay. Today I'm going to set up a NAS, that's a network attached storage device, using the Raspberry Pi 4 and the software Raspbian Buster Lite. So you might be asking, what do you need a NAS for? Well, if you've got a lot of files like photos, music or movies, chances are they're sitting on a hard drive somewhere. Getting access to those files can be challenging without an expensive network attached storage solution. But now, thanks to the improved bandwidth of the Raspberry Pi 4 with USB 3 and Gigabit Ethernet, you can build a fully featured NAS for a fraction of the cost. What do we need for this project? Well, we need the Raspberry Pi, we need a micro SD card, and we need a power supply. I've got a clicky one here. We also need a keyboard, a micro HDMI to HDMI, and a mouse. Okay, so that's the hardware sorted. Now we need to sort out the software. So go to the Raspbian website and download Raspbian Buster with desktop. We need to now flash this Raspbian image onto your SD card. And we're using the free software called Etcher to do this. I've left all links for downloads in the description below. Now this can take up to a couple of minutes to flash, so sit back and relax. Once it's transferred the image onto your SD card, slip it into your Raspberry Pi 4, power it up and watch it boot up. The first thing we've got to do before we set up our Samba share on our Raspberry Pi is to make sure everything is up to date. We update the package list and all our packages by running the following two commands. Now that we've got our Raspbian operating system up to date, we can proceed on to the installing of the Samba software to our Raspberry Pi. So to install the packages that we require to set up Samba, we run the following commands. Now before we set up our network storage on our Pi, we need to first create a folder that we will share. This folder can be located anywhere, including on our mounted external drive. For this tutorial, we'll be creating the directory within the Pi user home directory. So we create this folder by running the following command. Now we can share this folder using the Samba software. To do this, we need to modify the Samba config file. The smb.conf configuration file is where you will store all your settings for your shares. To modify the config file, we need to run the following command. Within this file, add the following to the bottom. This text defines various details for our share. After making the changes to the file, you can go ahead and save it by pressing Ctrl X and then Y followed by Enter. Next, we need to set up a user for our Samba share on the Raspberry Pi. Without it, we won't be able to make connection to the shared network drive. So here we'll be creating a Samba user called Pi with the password set to Raspberry. Run the following command to create the user. You'll be prompted afterwards to enter the password. Now, before we connect to our Raspberry Pi Samba share, we need to restart the Samba service so that it loads in our configuration changes. Now before we start trying to connect to our Samba share, we need to know the Raspberry Pi's local IP address. So run the following command to print out the Pi's local IP address. Okay, once we have our IP address, we can go back to our PC or Mac. Now I'm using a Mac, but I've also left instructions down below for Windows users. We begin by opening the Finder application. Now with the Finder application open, click the Go button, and in the toolbar then click the Connect to Server. Now that the Connect to Server dialog is open on your device, you can go ahead and enter the details for your Raspberry Pi's SMB share. In the address box, you will need to swap out your IP address with the IP address of your Raspberry Pi that you retrieved earlier. Before it connects, you'll be asked to enter both your username and password that you set up earlier using the SMB password tool. And that's it guys, you should have successfully set up a network drive that you can access both on a Windows PC or a Mac computer. You should also be able to access it on other devices such as mobile phones. As you can see, I've already placed some files on the server. Let's just see how quickly we can access them. And yes, that's just a picture of my Windows screen error, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. Okay guys, if you found that video helpful, give us a like and maybe subscribe for more great videos to come. And I'll see you in the next one.